history.
Start over.
Yeah.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska. 31-30, Miami upsets previously unbeaten and top-ranked Nebraska.
We're live on the website.
The Dolphins select quarterback Dan Marino of Pittsburgh.
Touchdown Miami. That is a new Miami record. 23 touchdown passes for Dan Marino.
Rebound Wade. The Miami Heat, they've done it. They win their first championship in franchise history. A liner, Buddy Scruggs in the center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
You want to talk sports? You logged on to the right place. The John Ech Show on 247miami.tv.
All right, the John Ech Show right here live on 247miami.tv. I am John Ech, and I know we haven't been doing a show for a long time. It's been about a month already. We had conflict of certain days where some of my guys couldn't make it. You know, Sunday was the day that we used to do our show at Jada Cole's live, but you know, Sunday's it's a family day, and my guys Johnny Pallett and Troy Hawk. Sunday was a tough day, so Monday looks like it's the day that we're going to be doing our show from 3 to 4. Hopefully we get to do a 2-hour show starting next week from 3 to 5. We got to talk to our CEO, president of 247miami.tv, Louis Chacon, who's listening right now, and hopefully we get a 2-hour show. But today's going to be a 1-hour show. We start a little late. It's 3:15. Hopefully we'll be done by 4:15. And, you know, bear with us. There might be some technical difficulties here and there. But other than that, let's do the show. Tonight's games, we got the Texans and the Bengals tonight. Cincinnati's an 11-point favorite. And also the Heat are back in action tomorrow. The Heat took last time the Heat played was Friday, I believe. And they took, a 4-day break, 3-day break. And they're back in action tomorrow at the AAA against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can catch the John Ech Show on YouTube right now, or also go on your TuneIn app. If you're listening on your phone, go on your TuneIn app and you can listen to the show live and direct. 247miami.tv is the website. All right, the Dolphins beat the Eagles yesterday, 20-19. You know, I got to give it to the Eagles. I mean, I got to give it to the Dolphins. They went up there, and a lot of people counted them out already, saying that there's no way that they could go up to Philadelphia and beat the Eagles, but they did 20-19. A lot of injuries. Brent Grimes, you know, I would say he's one of the top 5 players in our team, and he wasn't he didn't play due to a stomach virus that he ate something pretty, I don't know what he ate. He might have had some sushi or something the night before he played, but he was according to the papers, he threw up like 15 times on Saturday night and was not good to go. So Grimes did not play, but the other guy stepped in. Bradford got knocked out of the game by McCain. McCain came in there and sacked Bradford after he threw the pass and knocked him out. They're saying concussion, also an injured shoulder. The Dolphins were trailing 16-3, but they came back. And, you know, like Coach Campbell said in his speech there in the locker room, you know, they didn't give up. They continue to put the pressure on the Eagles, and I think the biggest play of the day was the Rashad Jones interception that you know, that he made in the end zone, and that was I would say that was the seal to for the Dolphins. But other than that, Sue probably was the MVP of the game. 7 tackles, 1 sack, several QB hurries. And finally, Sue came out saying that he's feeling more comfortable with the team. He's feeling, you know, with the line, he's feeling more comfortable. And hopefully that means better games for him, because he did have a slow start in the first couple games of the season. But looks like Sue is I guess I don't know what they gave him, $118 million. For how many years did they give him?
It was what, six years?
Something like that. So
5 or 6 years.
So he had a great game, 7 tackles, 1 sack, and several QB hurries. Landry again was incredible. I think Landry's probably the best offensive player we have. But I do have some concerns that Tannehill does look for Landry a lot, and I think he needs to spread the love. Cameron has been. He only had 1 catch yesterday.
Yeah, he's been non-existent
Yeah.
for the past God knows how many games.
Yeah, so I think they need to spread the love. I think if you're going to Landry all the time, that could be trouble. And Landry made some tremendous catches yesterday. There was one play up the middle where he was double covered, and he made it was a tremendous catch.
Yeah, he snatched it.
Yeah, which helped out the Dolphins there. But next week they got the Cowboys. The Cowboys has lost 7 in a row for the Cowboys. So the Cowboys, is that an away game or that's a home game?
That's a home game.
It's a home game. The
And,
Cowboys come here.
Of course, Romo's back.
Romo's
So,
back, yeah. But he's gonna be rusty.
Let's hope he's gonna be rusty. I mean,
But,
that's what worries me most. They're a totally different team with Romo.
Right. All right. So in the NFL, a couple games, the Giants lose to New England, and also the Chiefs beat Denver. And there's already stories coming out that Denver, Peyton Manning was not ready to go. He had the messed up ribs, and also there was a report coming out saying that he has a torn ligament in his foot. So and Kubiak came out saying that he shouldn't have. During the week there was concerns that Manning wasn't ready to go, but he still played him, so he's taking all the blame for the loss. A couple upsets. The Detroit Lions upset the Packers, and the Packers lost 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
that's kind of odd to see the Packers lose 3 games in a row.
It is odd because I think with Aaron Rodgers you should be able to beat anybody, and the defense is good enough to get by.
Right.
But the thing is, that passing attack without Jordy Nelson, it's not the same. They're not the same offense that they used to be. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he can methodically go down the field, but it doesn't even look like they're that type of offense anymore. They can't really run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Lacy's banged up. And Randall, I have Randall Cobb in a couple of my fantasy leagues because I thought he was going to be the big guy. And he, I don't know. They have not been able to do anything. 3
losses in a row for the Packers. There's a couple unbeaten teams in the league. We got the Carolina Panthers, who are still unbeaten, and they beat the Tennessee Titans. Is that correct? They beat up on the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was the question?
The Panthers beat up on the Titans, I believe. Let's see. I'm looking at my computer here.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah. And then we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are playing tonight. I guess the Texans, they're also so 3 unbeaten teams. I'm sorry, I forgot about the New England Patriots. The Patriots are unbeaten. And so is Carolina.
That was one crazy game.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
If you're a Giants fan, I feel for you. But couple, Belichick he's a master when it comes to situational. How do you say it?
Awareness.
Whatever you want to call it. He's a master of the time clock, and it was to his advantage at the end there, where there was 2 minutes and 3 seconds left, and the 2-minute warning where Tom Brady had made a couple plays here and there, and they went down and kicked a field goal and won the game. And even though the Giants did have success over the Patriots, they beat them twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so,
I mean that kind of eases it a little bit.
Yeah,
at least you beat them when it matters.
Right.
I mean the whole what was it? NFC West, NFC East.
The NFC East
that the Giants are in. I mean, that whole division's they're all super close.
Yeah, they got the Redskins, who had a big win last night. I mean, yesterday they put up 47 points. You got the Giants, you got the Eagles, who lost to the Dolphins yesterday. So that division's all, who knows who's going to win that division.
Every year, that I don't know why it's that division, but every year, all the teams have talent, but they all play at crap each year, and then they're all close together, or they all start playing good and they're all close together too. So I mean, the Giants losing this game, I don't think it's that much of a big deal.
Right.
I think they could still get into it. I mean, Eli Manning's been playing a lot better the last couple weeks, and that
So-
offense has been clicking. So
Going back to that division where the Packers are in, it used to be called the NFC Central. Is it still called the NFC Central, or is it the NFC North? It's called the NFC North. I'm old school.
I'm so bad with the division names.
I think it's called the NFC North. You know, with the Packers losing 3 games in a row, you got the Lions winning yesterday. You got the Bears in a big win versus the Rams.
Yeah, it's the North.
Yeah, the NFC North. That brought up, and then you got the Minnesota Vikings, who won yesterday. That division's kind of up for grabs too. They beat the red Oakland Raiders, and that division's up for grabs too. You got the Vikings, you got the Packers, you got the Bears, and you got the Lions. I don't think the Lions
Well,
are.
the Lions are out of it.
Yeah,
they're what are they 2-7?
Something like that.
Yeah,
And
they're a little bit of a mess.
I think Minnesota is number 1 in that first place in that
yeah,
division.
yeah, they're number 1.
So also the Bears. I mentioned the Bears upset the Rams 37-13, and also it was a sort of a lackluster week. Not really a lot of good games in the NFL, but there were some upsets here and there. And looking at would you say the Dolphins was that an upset over the Eagles?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of an upset because of the way that they looked against the Patriots and the Bills.
Right.
Like they got their asses blown. Can I curse on your show? I don't even know.
Yeah, this is okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they got their butts blown out in the last couple weeks, and for them to actually put up a fight, like the offense clicked somewhat in the beginning of the game, but in the second half, that defense made a bunch of stops against the Eagles. But Tannehill and that offense, like they couldn't do anything.
Couldn't do anything, you're right. In college football, the Hurricanes get blown out again, 59-21. And a little later, we're going to talk to Troy Hall, who's our college football expert, and he's going to give us his perspective on what went on in college football. But obviously, we can see that Larry Scott is not the future for the Miami Hurricanes, and they're just waiting for the season to end to bring up names. And we all know that it's either Butch Davis, Cristobal, or Chudzinski. Those are the 3 candidates. But Troy Hall has a different perspective, and he likes somebody outside the program, and we'll get his take on that. Let's see here. The Coastal Division is with the Hurricanes losing on Saturday, the Coastal Division is out of it's not even worth talking about. They had to run the table, and as we're just waiting for the season to end. Hopefully they can end the season on a good note, and then we could see have that talk about who's going to be the next Hurricane coach. The Miami Heat, like I said earlier, the Miami Heat are back in town tomorrow. They're back in action tomorrow. They're here at the AAA against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're 6-3. Wade and Green are back. You know, as you all know, who followed the Heat, Dwayne Wade's son was in the hospital. We're not sure what happened to him, but it's good news. His kid is doing okay. And Green is back from his suspension, 2-game suspension that he received from the team, not from the NBA. It was from the team for getting in some type of fight at his apartment in the lobby there. I'm not sure. The whole story hasn't even come out yet. What really happened? All I know that Green punched somebody in the face, and he got punched back, and the cops were called, and they had to take Green back in an ambulance. So he's back. Wade's back. Golden State, in my opinion, is probably the best team in the NBA. They're 11-0. Curry is unfreaking believable. And we'll get to his stats a little later during the show. In soccer, the World Cup qualifier, Klinsmann getting a lot of criticism for not putting Dempsey on the squad because he wants his opinion is to get more of the young guys involved, give them more experience against teams that are that teams that he hasn't played. What does that mean?
1 minute.
1 minute left. Oh my! There's no way. Come on, are you serious?
Yeah, hey, that's what time flies when you're having fun.
All right, so the World Cup qualifier, Klinsmann getting criticism that the USA did win against St. Vincent. It was 6-1, I believe. They got Trinidad and Tobago tomorrow. And the UFC, I'm not a big UFC guy, but I guess we have to talk a little bit about this. Ronda Rousey gets knocked out in the second round against Holly Holm. Is that her name? Holly Holm?
I have no idea.
You don't watch the UFC?
I do not watch any martial arts.
I don't either, but it's a big story. And
I know she's the best one,
Right.
apparently.
I got sort of a take on it, then and it was confirmed. You know how you think about something and somebody else talks about it and confirms it. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little later. Ronda Rousey getting knocked out in the second round. And also in boxing on Saturday, we got Cotto versus Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay, where they're going to be facing off for Cotto's belt, which is is it the bantamweight or the welterweight? One of those two divisions. All right, so this is the John Ech Show right here on 247miami.tv. Tune in app, listen to the show, and also we're on YouTube. When we come back, we'll talk to Troy Hall. We're going to give him a call, and hopefully this works. And I'll introduce our new producer to the John Ech Show when we come back. So keep it locked here on the John Ech Show right here on 247miami.tv.
What it do, is your boy Big Snoop Dogg on 24/7 Miami. You know how we do it, baby. Shake, shake, shake.
What's this I see?
Yo, this is Ward 305.
What's going on? It's Dr. Randall.
What's good? It's Profound Bastard. And I'm Big Feet 305. Y'all make sure y'all check out Urban Sports Tape.
On 247miami.tv.
I'm Craig Cook, host of Metal and Mayhem. I'm bringing you a brand new season of Metal and Mayhem this fall right here on 247miami.tv. Follow me on Twitter at @RealCraigCook to submit your requests and have all your feedback made fun of live on the air. Metal and Mayhem, Fridays this fall, 247miami.tv.
Do you know why we pulled you over?
Was it because I was speeding?
No, it's because you weren't listening to the
Tune in Thursdays at 8 p.m. on 247 Miami.
This is Wilma Shakespeare,
Anger,
and Disaster Chief from Miami's Vice City Rollers, inviting you to tune in to Ring Crash Radio on 247miami.tv. New shows every Saturday at 9 p.m.
with encore replays Monday at noon and 10 p.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m.,
and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and again at 10 p.m.
Find out everything you've ever wanted to know about roller derby in the 305.
Get the 411 on the women's team,
the men's team,
and even the juniors.
Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
On 247miami.tv.
Calor y sabor. Todos los jueves a las 6 de la tarde, con tu amiga Diana Carolina, te traigo Sabor de Miami, un show de entretenimiento, desde noticias hasta un Throwback Thursday. No te lo pierdas, 1 hora de calor y sabor, aquí en 24/7 Miami.
Hi guys, I'm James.
I'm Adrian.
We've got some very exciting news about our upcoming show,
Cannon Fire.
What are we going to be talking about, Adrian?
We're going to talk about everything science fiction.
So, movies?
Yes.
Video games?
Yes.
TV shows?
Checkmate on that.
Awesome. We're also going to be seen around our local comic book events. So you're going to see us at a lot of cons, hopefully at some of the comic book shops around town.
Hopefully they be giving free stuff and we'll let you know about it.
That'd be awesome. And we've also got some interviews lined up for you guys. So please remember to check us out on 247miami.tv.
And like us on Facebook.
It's time.
Oh yeah, it's that time of year. It's football season. You know what else that means? It's fantasy football season. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Fantasy Frauds, with replays starting at 5 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. You can only hear it here on 247miami.tv.
All right, welcome back to the John Ech Show right here on 247miami.tv. Troy Hall will be joining us in a couple minutes. But let me introduce our producer of the show. His name is Mike. Mike, is it Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have a nickname, Mike?
My DJ name is Mikey Mike.
Oh, so you're a DJ?
No, not really.
Not really?
Just my on-air talent.
Okay.
Nickname.
So your nickname is Mikey Mike?
Yes.
But I think I'm going to call you Mike.
All right, you can call me Mike. I
But,
don't care. It's
okay.
not official yet.
It's not official yet. We're gonna have to come up with
I'm
some
still in my beginning
stages.
Yes.
So you're a graduate of CSB, right?
Yes.
All right, good. And when did you graduate from Connecticut School of Broadcasting?
Uh,
where we're broadcasting live right here in the beautiful studios here at Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yes, I finished. What was it? September 15th.
Okay.
Late September, and I was waiting on a bunch of my fellow classmates to finish the final group project and put in all the work for the final like newscast.
Okay.
They had to put in commercials and their news packages, and it took forever. And because if you don't do the final project, you can't graduate.
Right.
So I was waiting on them to do all their work, and it finally got done. So, woo, I'm done.
All right. So where are you from originally?
Originally, Miami, Florida.
Okay. Born and raised.
Born and raised in the Kendall area.
Kendall area.
Yes,
I was gonna say you were from where LC Louis Chacon is in Little Havana.
No,
You're in Kendall. Where by Town and Country Mall? In the area?
Yeah, past that.
Past that?
Yeah, where
Wow.
the Tamiami Airport is.
No way.
Country Walk.
That's pretty far.
Get that CW.
So where'd you go to high school?
Felix Varela.
Felix Varela. Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
That's sort of like a new school, right? It's not a.
It's fair. I mean, it's been open for, I want to say, like
10, 15 years.
10, 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to a school in Miami called Miami Senior High,
Mhm.
which has been open for, I would say, 100 years.
Yeah.
Sort of like
Yeah.
that. The Miami High Stingeries. No, it's been open for a long, long time.
Where's Miami Senior High?
It's in Little Havana on 27th
okay.
Avenue and Flagler. In between Flagler and let's see, Flagler and 27th Avenue. Yeah, Flagler and 8th Street. In between, in that area there. Those who know where Miami High is at.
Is that where Orlando Alzagari went for high school?
No, I don't think the Big O.
Yeah, the Big O.
I'm not sure. I don't think he went to Miami High. He's a Kendall guy.
Nah, I don't think so.
Really?
I think he's a little Havana guy.
Really? I mean, he probably is a little Havana guy, but I'm not sure if he went to Miami Senior High. I might have to send him because me and him are Twitter pals.
Oh yeah.
So I'll send him.
Yeah, I love him, man. He got me to turn around and become a Dolphins realist.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though he hates on the Dolphins, he hates Tannehill.
Yeah, well, he has reason to hate.
Yeah.
Tannehill. I mean,
so you're a big Dolphins guy.
yes.
Okay, good. And how about college football? Who's your team in college football?
College football.
You follow college
I guess
football.
it's the Canes.
The
You know what I
Canes.
mean? It's kind of hard and it's weird because like I kind of went to FIU for a couple years, but I never really got into the school spirit of it all.
Okay.
But I grew up, kind of watching the Canes here and there.
Okay. And how about you? Are you into
those lower
basketball?
days. Basketball, not really, man. Like
You just football.
It's
You-
just
you- you
NFL football. That's my sport. That's the sport. Like,
So what do you do when the NFL season's over?
well, I guess I watch the Heat here and there.
You're not a UFC
Like,
guy.
if
You're not a soccer. Are you soccer?
When the Heat make the playoffs, when the playoffs begin, the Heat are in it, then I'll watch the
Okay.
playoffs.
But you're not a diehard Heat guy.
Nah.
Don't watch all the games.
No.
How about baseball?
There's so many games though. Like with football, like I only know I have to watch it one or 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And there's only 16 games. With
Yeah.
basketball, it's like 80 something games,
Yeah.
and it's like
That's why football is so great. It's true.
I know.
What you said that
Every game has meaning.
Right. Every game has meaning. It's a short season.
Mhm.
It's action packed. I mean, but another sport. Are you into soccer?
No,
Not into soccer.
no,
That's another. It's not a long season. The games are only it's only 2 hours. It takes about 2 hours, and it's action packed. So you should probably think about soccer. If you like you don't have to spend like a whole day watching like baseball, for example. I'm a big baseball guy. Like baseball, you got to sit down for 4 hours and watch the whole game.
Yeah.
But
if I'm at a baseball game, I could watch it.
Right.
But on TV, there's no way.
Okay.
Like, it's-
So you're just strictly Dolphins. I
Yeah.
can see because you're wearing a Dolphins hoodie and you got Dolphin socks on.
yeah.
So
That's
you're
my team.
That's your team. All right. So are you happy? Obviously you were happy that Philbin was fired.
Yeah.
And even though Campbell
He should have been fired last year.
Yeah, he should have been fired.
He should have been fired last year, and Ross gave him that weird fluky extension at the end
That
of
was
that
horrible.
Vikings win
Yeah.
because Fide blocked a punt,
Yeah.
even though they still had to play the Jets and
Right.
they got their butts beat.
I was thinking last night if the Dolphins would have lost yesterday, both teams would have been unwatchable, and the fans already given up on the Canes. They already borderline already given up on the Dolphins, and the Dolphins would have lost yesterday. That would have put them at 3-6, and I think the fan
that would have
the
been
fan base
over.
would have been like, okay, I'm done with it.
Because
I'm not. You know, I don't want to watch the Dolphins anymore. And both teams, the Canes, which got blown out yesterday, 59. I mean, on Saturday, 59-21, and you know, both teams are borderline unwatchable. Even though we're going to watch the games because you're a diehard Dolphin fan. I'm a diehard Dolphin fan too. But even though we're watching it, but the majority of the fan base would have been just like, that's enough. You know, that's enough.
It is. I like even since they won, yesterday, I'm still so numb to them. I can't get up or down with them because it's like, what's the point?
Right.
Like you kind of know, like, I don't know. I'm in such wait and see mode, man.
Mhm.
They've been up and down 8-8 for so long. It's like you're just in the middle all the time. It's like I don't know where to go.
Yeah. So Campbell comes in, and he's a big a guy that played in the NFL for many years, and he's a motivator. But obviously he's not the future for the Dolphins. They're looking at, once the season's over, I'm sure they're looking for other coaches in the horizon. There's talks of Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton will be gone. He will be fired from the New Orleans Saints, and there's other candidates out there. So we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But who would you like to come to the Dolphins? Who is there a name out there that you said, man, I wish we could have him as a coach?
I mean, there's a bunch of nobodies that aren't even being mentioned right now that are probably in the running for it, which I wouldn't know about. But like having Sean Payton, yeah, I would like him. But most likely if he loses that job, he's probably going to go to the Colts. I mean,
oh really? You think Sean Payton?
I think so.
Yeah.
They have a better quarterback than the Dolphins. He'd be able to work way more magic with Andrew Luck than I think he would with the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Chuck Pagano will be gone.
Yeah, it all depends if he wants to work with the crazy head case Jim Irsay over there.
Yeah,
and his eccentric behavior.
It's either Irsay or a guy down here, Mr. Ross,
or Mr. Ross, who's never around.
Yeah, I was
Ross would probably give him more power though. I mean, because I mean Ross is never here. He's never around. He gives everybody everything. Give Ireland everything. Tannenbaum just comes in out of nowhere. Here, you got full power too.
If you look at all the teams in Miami and you look at their owners, with the Heat, you got who's the owner of the Heat?
Oh my God, Mickey Harrison.
Mickey Harrison. He gives all the power to Pat Riley, probably the best president, general manager,
the Don.
Yeah, and you see that team. You haven't seen, I would say, like bad moves done in the front office, like making bad draft picks or making bad trades. Riley is always on point. If the Heat need this, Harrison gives them the liberty to do it, and that's why I think that the fan base of the Heat are strong. They're not a bandwagon team where when they start losing, they'll stop watching them. I think the true Heat fans watch the Heat throughout the whole season. And when it comes to the Dolphins, there's been a lot of letdown. There's been a lot of letdown with the Dolphins, and like you said earlier, Ross is he's the first time he's ever been involved in football, and he's listened to so many people.
Yeah.
So many people, and hired Tannenbaum. You got two general managers. You got Tannenbaum. You got Hickey. The Ireland was in there for a little bit. And he did. He was really bad with the drafting players here and there. But
I can't. Oh my!
There's no stability with these teams.
Oh, I hate to defend Ireland, but he did find some gems in those later rounds. He found Rashad Jones, Lamar Miller,
right?
God, I mean,
I think Ajayi is going to be good, man.
Yeah, he found Nolan Carroll. He's been playing pretty good for the Eagles.
Yeah,
I think he was pretty good the last year or two.
Ajayi's he didn't draft Ajayi, but I think Ajayi is going to be pretty good. He rushed six rushes for, or was it 5 rushes for 65 yards yesterday? And you can tell he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, the problem is he's got that knee. I heard something like he doesn't have cartilage in his knee or something.
And one of his knees.
So his NFL career, I heard, I mean, from what I read, when he got drafted, might only last like 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Because, the impact on the toll, how, they got to work out hard every day.
Sure. All right, let's call Troy. We're going to experiment here to see if this works. So I'm going to call him, and sounds good and clear. According to LC, he said He's listening to the show right now, so he says sounds good and clear. So that's good,
All right.
right? All right, let's go. Call Troy. Let's see. Just dial his number and see how it works.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
guess
pod open?
so. Yeah, it's open.
All right, let's call Troy, and hopefully Troy will answer, and hopefully this works. Right here on the John Ech Show, 247miami.tv. You can listen to us on the TuneIn app. All right, good. And you can also watch us on YouTube. All right, it's ringing. We're going to talk to Troy.
So who's Troy?
Troy's our college football expert.
Hello.
Hey, Troy.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Doing good.
Can you hear us pretty good or what?
Yeah, I hear you pretty good.
All right, good. We're going to talk some college football. And you can follow Troy at T Hall. What's the number again? T Hall?
6147.
T Hall 6147 on Twitter. And you can follow Troy there, and he gives out his college football picks weekly. And we haven't been doing a show for about a month, but we're back into it now, and we're going to talk college football with the John Ech Show college football handicapper, Troy Hall. All right, Troy, let's start with University of Miami, your reactions. Their blowout loss to North Carolina, 59-21. What did you see in that game?
Oh, I saw North Carolina just demolish an unmotivated Miami team.
Right.
Obviously, they've gone through a lot of changes and a lot of things this year. They just didn't look motivated. North Carolina's got everything going for them. They pounded the ball on them. They ran some options. Miami looked like they had no clue how to stop North Carolina whatsoever, and they obviously didn't. Total blowout.
Yeah. In your opinion, Troy, and we talked a little bit about this at the opening of our show. Obviously, the next candidate to coach this team, obviously Larry Scott is not the future for the Hurricanes, right?
Right.
So
at best he's retained as a position coach.
Right. There's names being thrown out there. Obviously, the front runner is Butch Davis, Mario Cristobal, and Chodzinski. You have a different view. You have a different take on who should be the next University of Miami coach. Let our listeners know what's your take on this.
Well, I think there's a ton of good candidates out there right now, first of all. Anyone who doesn't think there is crazy. I think there is, a lot of names out there, the common names out there, like you just mentioned, Butch Davis. And I don't think they'll go that route because he's had a history with the NCAA and having problems, and Miami's had their own. I think they need a squeaky clean guy. So I think that's going to rule him out. Plus, Butch is 63 years old, and I think they need someone to rejuvenate the program a little bit younger. Greg Schiano's a name that's out there, and he's got an advantage because he's not coaching right now. He can be talked to now, and if they were considering him, I'm sure they have. Mario Cristobal's a great name that's out there. He's doing real well with Alabama. Their offensive lines look great lately, and he's their offensive line coach, as we know. He's got a history of recruiting in South Florida. The question with him, I think, is the X's and O's. He's been a head coach before, and he's had his chance. And 6 years in, went 3-9, and got fired at FIU. I know a lot of people say he got railroaded, and he probably did. No question about it. But 6 years into that coaching job, you can't go 3-9 and then say, "Well, this guy's good enough to just jump in and be the Hurricanes coach." But of the guys that have University of Miami ties, Cristobal would be my choice. He has a spread offense. And, he can recruit, and he's got a lot of energy. It's exactly what the program needs. But I do think there are a lot of names outside the program that should be looked at. I think the coach at Bowling Green ought to be looked at, Dino Babers.
Right.
I know a lot of Canes fans are probably turned off by that because they went with a guy from Temple, a non-Power 5 conference school. He did well there, and then they just hired him up, and now they say he stinks, so we need a guy who's been there and done it before. The problem is the Canes aren't rolling out $5 million. They're not going to do it. It would just be absolutely astonished if that were the case. It's just not going to happen. So you have to kind of be selective here.
Yep.
You do kind of need an up-and-comer, or you can go with a guy that's already got ties to the U. But I think Dino Babers deserves a look. He's been in coaching 31 years. His offense, I think, is that dynamic where the wide receivers, the running backs, and the quarterback play that Miami recruits, I think they just light up the scoreboard. And to me, the Coastal of the ACC, that may be the easiest half of any conference in the Power Five.
Yeah. Now, the knock, well, people who don't know about Dino Babers, and obviously you know about him, and you schooled me on him, and you let me know, you gave me a lot of information about him, and I never knew anything about him until you mentioned his name. But people will say, "Oh, who's Dino Babers?" He never, he doesn't recruit in South Florida. He doesn't recruit Florida kids, but he does. That last game, we were texting back and forth, and I think you told me that 17 players on his team at Bowling Green are Florida kids, right?
Yeah, he's loaded with Florida guys. Now, he didn't recruit every one of them. Some of them were here when he got there. This is only his second year at Bowling Green, but he has recruited some of them. He's got guys with ties to Booker T and St. Thomas. He's got, I think, 4 guys from Dwyer up in Palm Beach, which is a real good high school program. He's got guys from Orlando area. His roster is, I think, 17 or 18 guys on his Bowling Green roster, Florida guys. Like I said, he's been in coaching 31 years. He's been at Baylor, UCLA, Arizona. He's recruited all over the place. So he knows the high schools. He knows the coaches. Recruiting for him in that offense, what he's selling, it's going to make it very easy. If someone were to watch Bowling Green play and look at their quarterback and look at their wide receivers, he's going to get talent to play in that offense. If he can find it at Bowling Green, he can certainly make it happen in Miami to get guys to make his offense work. He's great with quarterbacks. He coached Jimmy Garoppolo at Eastern Illinois before he got to Bowling Green, and now this kid now is, I think, top 2 or 3 in the country and passing up at Bowling Green now.
Yeah. All right, the Pac-12, Stanford loses, Utah loses. I guess we could say no team in the Pac-12 could be in that playoffs scenario anymore, right?
Yeah, I think Pac-12's eliminated. Still some really good games out there, though. It looks like we're back to the USC versus Oregon game meaning something again, and they play this week.
Yeah.
And that's who probably everyone at the beginning of the season, them along with Stanford, was looking at. But USC's got 3 losses. Obviously, they haven't looked very good this year, and they've had their own internal problems with the coaching staff. Stanford plays Notre Dame still, and that's still going to be a huge game, even though Stanford lost. And they're definitely capable of beating Notre Dame in that game and knocking them out.
We both liked Oregon, didn't we? On Saturday, we both liked Oregon to upset Stanford.
Yeah, we did. We liked Oregon to win that game outright, and they did. They came through at the end. I really like the quarterback for Oregon. He's had a problem, I know, with his hand or his thumb, and he's had problems throughout the year, and Oregon hasn't looked very good when he hasn't played. But when he's played, he's looked pretty good. They put up 38 points and got a 2-point win against Stanford, and that effectively knocks them out from the playoffs.
Now, Troy, this is very interesting here. We all know Beta lost to Oklahoma on Saturday. Now, Oklahoma and if Oklahoma, this is a scenario here. If Oklahoma runs the table, Notre Dame runs the table. Who do you think, in your opinion, should be in that top 4 there? Saying Clemson runs the table too, and Alabama and Ohio State does too.
Right. So if you have the 3 undefeated, well, if you have the 2 undefeated teams, Ohio State and Clemson, and they're in the playoff, and you have a 1-loss Alabama, provided they run the table, those 3 are for sure in.
For sure,
If you have a 1-loss Oklahoma and a 1-loss Notre Dame, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. The team that deserves to go is Oklahoma.
For sure.
The team that will go is Notre Dame.
Right.
I would be so shocked if Oklahoma would go over Notre Dame, even though, in my opinion, it's absolutely obvious at that point that Oklahoma should be in it. And they're the only one-loss team that has a shot in the Big 12 of making this playoff.
Mhm.
Oklahoma can make it, but Oklahoma State can make it, but they have to go unbeaten to
Right.
make it. Oklahoma can make it with one loss because they'll have wins over TCU. They'll have win over Oklahoma State. They'll win over Baylor.
Mhm.
And on top of that, out of conference, they went to Tennessee earlier in the year and beat them on the road at Tennessee.
Wow.
So I think that really helps them.
And Notre Dame hasn't beaten a team that's ranked this year, right?
Right. It looked early in the year like, wow, look at this Notre Dame schedule. It's going to be great. They've got, Clemson in there, and it looked like Temple is this undefeated great team. Georgia Tech was going to be a great team. Well, Georgia Tech stinks. They beat them by 8. They lost a close one at Clemson in a really good game. They beat Temple barely. Temple just got waxed this weekend.
Right.
By 3 touchdowns by South Florida. So they beat USC. USC's got 3 losses, and maybe I'm suspecting going to be 4 losses after this week. So that win doesn't look very good. Navy looks like a good team.
Yeah.
With only 1 loss, they're an impressive team. But obviously, if you're Notre Dame and that's Navy, you should be beating them.
All right. Before we let you, go ahead.
Notre Dame's schedule's no good to me.
Oh, terrible. They haven't beaten anybody. All right. Before we let you go, one more question, Troy. Tomorrow, the 4 it comes out tomorrow. The college football comes out with the 4 top teams. Does it stay the same? Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, or do you think there's a little shake there?
I think there'll be a little shake behind that, but I think for now, Notre Dame stays in there.
Really? Okay.
I don't think they belong there. I wouldn't put them in there until after the Stanford game and if some other teams drop. I think Oklahoma State deserves to be in there in that number 4 spot right now. And after that, I would probably have Oklahoma at number 5. And then probably Notre Dame, and then Iowa. I'm not sold on Iowa at all for the same reasons. I think their schedule's garbage. I think an unbeaten Houston right now has played about as good a schedule as Notre Dame.
Yeah, they beat Temple
really do.
on Saturday, didn't they?
No, they beat Memphis.
I beat Memphis. I'm sorry, Memphis. Temple
beat
lost
Memphis.
against some. Who did Temple lose against? They lost by 2 touchdowns
Houston.
to Houston. Right. Okay.
Houston's beat them. Temple. The only loss Temple had was just South Florida.
But they lost on Saturday.
To South Florida.
To South Florida. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
They lost South Florida, but I think Temple still does play Houston. If
Oh,
I'm
I
not
see.
Mistaken.
Okay.
Or whatnot, but if Houston plays some good teams, they beat Cincinnati, they beat Memphis, they won at Louisville.
Good win there.
Yeah, they've got a couple of teams on that schedule that were pretty good, and they're unbeaten. So,
But in your opinion, you honestly think Oklahoma should be one of those top 4 teams, right?
I do. It's a bad loss to Texas. It's a really bad loss. Notre Dame's loss is better. So I don't have too big an argument about it right now. I think Oklahoma State should be there. Unbeaten Oklahoma State, I think, should be in that 4th spot right now.
What's your opinion on?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I just think they should be ahead of Notre Dame. Notre Dame's schedule, it didn't shake out to be as good as it was supposed to. Stanford's still a good team, and they, there's still some work to be done out there in the shakeup. I think people make too much into what these polls are, but that's what happens in the media, and that's what people pay attention to.
All right, one more. I said one more before, but one more before we let you go. Clemson plays North Carolina. We saw what North Carolina could do. Good quarterback, good offense. You think Clemson could lose to North Carolina?
Definitely a possibility, yes.
Yeah.
North Carolina is a good team. They can score points. They have a veteran quarterback. Clemson has the edge, in my opinion, on defense. Clemson has a better defense than North Carolina does, and it's easy to see. And also, I think even though North Carolina does have a good senior quarterback, Clemson, in my opinion, still has the advantage of the quarterback position. Deshaun Watson is awesome. Clemson just beat Syracuse on the road by only 10 points. They're in trouble for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Quarter even. But Watson had a great game, a huge game, and he was the reason they didn't lose that game at Syracuse.
All right, Troy, good job. We'll catch up next week. Again, T Hall 6147. Is that correct? On Twitter?
That's correct.
T Hall. And I know we haven't been posting any picks lately, but let's start this week and then we'll go on from there.
You got it.
All right, Troy, thanks a lot, and we'll catch up next week. Thanks.
All right, man. Have a good show. Thanks for calling.
You got it, my man. Bye. All right, that was T Hall at T Hall 6147 on Twitter, and he thinks Oklahoma should be in one of those top 4 teams, and Notre Dame should be out. And it's true, Notre Dame hasn't beaten anybody. They haven't beat any ranked teams, but as you all know, Notre Dame's a team where you got to put them in. They have a great fan base, and all the TV networks want Notre Dame in there. But in my opinion, I agree with Troy. Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's beaten 3 top teams, 3 ranked teams during the season. So those are our top 4. We'll see tomorrow who college football likes, and that'll come out tomorrow on ESPN. How much time we got left, Mike? Mike?
Oh man,
you lost track.
No,
this might be a 3-hour show.
Yeah, it could be.
We haven't done a show. To be honest with you, this show, like I said, it was trial and error. It was kind of there might be some technical difference, but it's going been going kind of smooth.
I mean, I don't know how well it's going over the broadcast with the breaks and stuff, but whatever.
LC says it sounds.
I mean, who cares about breaks, right?
Well, what I want to do is like I have my own music and I want to play my own music during the shows. Yeah. So we'll start that next week. And then I was wondering since I wanted it to be a 2-hour show, I'm going to talk to LC later on and see if we could extend our show to 2 hours, because a 1-hour show is not enough. With sports, you gotta have more than 1 hour.
I mean, especially this is my first time working with you on this show.
Yeah.
So apparently, from what I understand, you're covering all sports.
Yeah, we're calling it all sports.
Yeah.
We do football, baseball. We do everything, and we even got to some UFC, which I don't really follow, but I had to talk about this Ronda Rousey.
What happened? Give me the
fight.
Details.
She got knocked out, man, in the second round, and she went against Holly Holm, she's a boxing legend, and she's the first woman to win in the boxing section and also win in the UFC side. So that's pretty impressive. And she took her down, man. Ronda Rousey didn't win the first round, and then she got knocked out in the second round. And one thing that I wanted to bring up, and I was thinking about this, there was so much hype because the fight was in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And these fights are usually fought in California. They're usually fought in Las Vegas. But she went out of the country to fight Holly Holm, who's an American also. But there was a lot of hype. She did a lot of TV, a lot of commercials. It was just a lot of. It might have distracted her.
I saw her in a couple of commercials.
Yeah, it was just too much for her. I think it might have distracted her. And if you go, and this is confirmed by somebody that said this on the radio. And I thought about this, but I don't know if I was correct or not. I was just thinking about it. I go, we saw Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas, who was a big underdog against Mike Tyson, knocked him out in Japan, in Tokyo. Other fights, George Foreman against Ali. They took George Foreman out to Africa. He went out there and he got knocked out, or he lost against Muhammad Ali. So it seems like, and then if you look at Floyd Mayweather, and I'm not sure if you're a big boxing guy. Are you? Sort of? You follow a little bit, box a little bit?
Like I said, NFL.
Yeah.
That's
if you know, Floyd Mayweather only fights in Las Vegas. And he lives in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. So he's at home. Like he's only I don't know how far he lives from the strip. We got 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
roughly.
Good. So he fights, he never goes to different countries to fight. So it could be a pattern where you see fighters going out of the country to fight somewhere else and they end up losing. And that's what happened to Ronda Rousey. Let's get back to the Dolphins before we end the show. What did you see, Mike? What did you see?
What did I see?
What did you see? God. Tannehill was horrible, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did not. Oh my God. The thing that I don't understand about the Dolphins is that they know the running game helps Tannehill, because Tannehill, he's god awful with third and long situations.
Oh, he's horrible.
If it's 3rd and 8 or longer, he's been that way for years. So people don't get mad at me, because the proof is in the pudding. But yeah, so there's been they start off the game running the ball great, you know what I mean? And then towards the second half, I see them relying on the pass more and incomplete. Then next thing you know, it's 3rd and 10,
Mhm.
and then boom, he can't convert it. So run it. I mean, I hate to have a predictable offense, but at least run it for 1 or 2 downs. Just make it an easier, manageable 3rd down for him.
Right.
But the defense. Thank God for that D line, and the defense played great.
Yeah.
They gave Marcus Sanchez and Sam Bradford trouble.
Right.
They
A
gave
lot
them
of
bunch
injuries too,
pressure.
man.
Yeah.
McCain went
Yeah,
down, and
they overcame a bunch of injuries, and they kept giving their offense opportunities, and the offense didn't come up enough. I
Yeah.
mean, they made big plays towards the end of the game to
huge.
to get it done.
Yeah.
And plus the block punt really helped.
Oh, that's what
momentum of
turned
the
around the
game.
momentum.
Yeah, because I thought it was like, oh my God,
They scored right away after
Yeah,
that. Yep.
yeah.
Lamar,
And-
the little pass to
yeah, it
Lamar
was a
Miller.
short field.
But I think there was a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and Chip Kelly likes to run that fast offense.
Mhm.
Where guys you can't really substitute coming off
Yeah.
and on the coming on and off the field, and there was a lot of guys that haven't played a lot of minutes in with the Dolphins in the NFL, and they were sort of confused what was going on. They were, do I go out? Do I come in? Do I go out? You could see that, but it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. I think Rashad Jones and Sue were the top guys, in my opinion. They were the best guys on the defensive side of the ball. Sue, again, looking back at his stats, he had 7 tackles, 1 sack, and several QB hurries. And I think he helps out. He gets double teamed. That opens up for other guys to come in. And I'm surprised Vernon doesn't have a lot of sacks.
Yeah.
QB sacks. You know what I'm saying? He should be.
He's very talented. I don't understand why he
should be leading the team in sacks.
He should be. I don't know what his issues are.
I have no idea what's going on there. But Sue's making
even when it looks like he does make a play, it doesn't bounce his way. Like
was he the one that caught he had the fumble?
He scooped up the fumble and then it got torn away from him. And then also even when he was getting to the quarterback, they throw a penalty for a late hit or something.
Right.
It's just not his year, I guess. I don't know.
And as we mentioned earlier, I think the Tannehill doesn't need to spread the love around. I think Landry's, you could tell he's his favorite target, but man, we got Kenny Stills, Jennings, we got Jordan Cameron, our tight end, and we got Lamar Miller come off the backfield, and it seems like he's just targeting Landry too much. That could be that's concerning, man. Because
it's a little concerning.
Yeah.
Landry, he's like the slot guy. He runs a lot of those shorter routes. So and that's what Tannehill's good at, throwing the shorter routes.
Right.
And Lamar Miller, I don't, he's Lamar Miller's pretty involved, so I don't got to worry about him. But like Jordan Cameron, he's supposed to be like the red zone threat,
right?
And granted, the Dolphins haven't been getting into the red zone that much the last couple.
And they're horrible in the red zone when they get in there.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, Laser's once they're inside the 10, Laser doesn't want to run the ball anymore.
I have no idea.
Which creates, it's so stupid because I'm just an average football fan. You know what I mean?
It seems like you know a lot. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm knowledgeable, I think, but I mean, I'm not like these coaches who have been coaching throughout their lives and know more about X's and O's than I do.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, how does an average fan know what you should be doing and you don't see it, and you're a coach and you're being paid what, hundreds of thousands of dollars? I don't know what their salary is, but but I mean, it's the same team. I mean, hopefully Campbell, at least when Campbell took over, he got this team to fight.
Right.
And at least they're playing hard. You could see it, the difference.
Yeah.
And if he pulls a miracle out of his butt and gets this team to the playoffs, then I think you have to consider him being a coach. Even though I don't think that they will go to the playoffs, because I'm a Dolphins fan. I don't.
It's a long shot.
Yeah. I mean, but if they just keep it up, because the AFC it's all pretty close. I don't think there's like a handful of teams that are leading it, but there's a lot of teams that are just mediocre teams right now.
I think let's see here. Look at the standings. New England went 10. They're 9-0. Buffalo's 5-4. The Jets are 5-4, and Miami's 4-5.
Yeah, Miami. With the Bills and the Jets playing the way they are, and Miami's losing all their divisional games.
They haven't won a divisional game yet.
No, they haven't. That's probably what it's going to come down to, and Miami's going to be out of it.
How about the Colts? They're leading their division at 4-5 with a losing record.
Yeah, still. And they got Andrew out. Andrew
Luck
Luck
is-
is out
yeah.
for what, 6 weeks now
Something like
with
that.
the I forgot what was it, a rotator cuff thing? I don't know what it
Yeah.
was some sort of injury.
Well, he had a bad shoulder, and now he had is it the kidney bruised kidney or something like that knocked him out for a couple of weeks. Let's see, in the North we got Cincinnati, who's 8-0. They're playing tonight. They're 11-point favorite over the Houston Texans. The Steelers had a good win last night, and Roethlisberger didn't start the game, but he came in after Jones went down.
Yeah. I know what I want to say the Steelers are one of my favorite teams
Really?
in the AFC. I mean, outside of the Patriots, probably.
They're
Well,
consistent.
the Patriots, the Bengals, and the Steelers, I think are. I mean, especially the Steelers with Roethlisberger, like their offense is pretty much unstoppable. They
Yeah.
could run it. They could.
And they
throw
lost
it.
Ladavian Bell for the season with a torn knee.
I mean, but D'Angelo Williams is not a bad backup,
right?
I mean, I know he struggled in Carolina, but I mean, Carolina never really had a good running game. I
Right.
mean,
Now Denver is 7-2, and we all know what happened to Peyton Manning, torn tendon in one of his foot, and he's playing also with some bad ribs. So I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but like 2 weeks ago when they beat 2 weeks ago, that everyone was, oh my God, Denver's back. They got the greatest defense in the world. They're going to go to
I think
Super
it
Bowl.
was the Packers.
It was the Packers.
Good. Peyton actually threw well in that
He
game.
played well, and then so they were saying, "Oh, Peyton's,
His arm came back with
exactly
one
all the criticism
magical
that he
play.
got. That don't worry, he's just back, whatever." And he's still a good quarterback. But look what happened yesterday. His throws are atrocious, man. And looks like he's going to be out for. I'm not sure. He could be back next week, but I don't know if he could play with a torn.
I don't know. He's got that foot thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know what a fracture.
Plantar fasciitis, whatever it's called.
Fasciitis, yeah.
So they're 7-2 in the NFC. We've got the Giants at 5-5, and that division is pretty bad too. Washington, Philadelphia, and the Cowboys in the South. Carolina's undefeated. They're 9-0, and I picked Carolina. And Troy Hall, if he's listening, he could attest to this. I picked Carolina as a team that go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. Minnesota 7-2 in the North. Green Bay 6-3, who lost 3 games in a row. The Bears are 4-5, and the Pistons, the Lions are 2-7. And in the West, Arizona had a big win yesterday against the Seattle Seahawks, and I couldn't stay up for that. Those late games would just kill me. You stayed up for the whole game? I heard it was a good game. I fell asleep in the middle of the fourth quarter.
I have Red Zone, so I watched all the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games.
Right.
And I don't know. I was just kind of done by then. I still had Lynch and Palmer on my fantasy team playing, and I also had Michael Floyd on the bench. But I for whatever reason, I was just done for football by that time. But it was I saw the score. It was a pretty.
You didn't watch any of that game?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was good. It was exciting. It was exciting.
Yeah.
First half, and then the third quarter was pretty good. Carson Palmer looked good, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up this morning. They won, I think, 39-32.
Yeah,
I believe.
But I mean, I think the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC. I think they're better than the Packers.
The Cardinals are the best. They're better than Carolina, in your opinion?
I think so.
Wow.
I think the offense is more explosive. I mean, that's the thing about Carolina. Like, they keep winning games, but to me, maybe I haven't really been watching their games, but I know they've been winning. But
they have a good defense.
Yeah, their defense is good,
Yeah.
but I don't. That offense doesn't really scare me enough. I mean, he's not throwing to anybody.
No, he's not.
We
lost Benjamin for the year.
I mean, granted, he's been winning with them, but I think the Cardinals are better. They have a better defense. Well, I don't know about better defense, but their defense is really good. Palmer can air it out.
I would say their offense is better.
And they have a good running game.
Yeah, they do. And who do you like in the AFC? I guess New England,
AFC?
obviously New England.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I can never doubt New England, and then I'll put
Edelman's out he could be out for a long time. He had a broken ankle.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but I've seen Brady win with less.
Lewis is hurt. Edelman is hurt, and they have some other injuries. So, like you said, Belichick is the best. He's the best coach in the freaking world.
I know.
So
it's amazing. It's amazing how long he's been doing it for. Yeah. Like, he's been doing it since I was a 12-year-old boy. Like, my God, it was crazy because I was like, who's Brady? Who's this guy winning against the Rams? He's just having a lightning. He's just a bottle of lightning moment. you know?
Right.
And then he just kept winning. And I'm just like, I still don't think he's too good. Then like 2007 came and he's like throwing for 55 touchdowns. I'm like, okay, I guess he is that good. And I just kind of quit hating on Brady and more respecting him.
It looked like the Giants were going to win that game.
They're everything I wish the Dolphins would be.
Oh, I thought this year before the season started, it looked like the Dolphins were going to be a playoff team.
Yeah,
on paper.
They looked really good in the preseason. That D-line was dominating, and then the season started, and there was no energy with that team. They came out
I saw from the first against the Redskins, even though they won the game, you could tell there was there's something that wasn't right.
Like they're not dominating like they should be against that team.
And then they lost 2 in a row. And then they won 2 in a row. And then they lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Now they won. And they got the Cowboys next week.
Yeah.
And that game is here.
Whatever. I mean, at least.
Have you been to the game yet?
I went to the Bills game at home
2 weeks ago.
No, in the beginning of the season.
Oh,
I think
the
it was
first
like
one.
Their third game or something. It was horrible.
Yeah, they got whooped up.
And the thing is, I will not pay for Dolphins games anymore. So like I only go because my friend has season tickets and he invites me sometimes.
Right.
But I mean, I'm so numb. I don't trust this team. Like I told people before this season started, like I think in the beginning of the offseason, I told people that I'm expecting a meltdown.
Yeah.
Because I thought back to Tony Sperano's last year or his fourth year, and that team went 0-7.
Yeah.
And they weren't playing good, in the years before that. And then they had Philbin in his fourth year. They weren't playing in the years before that. And I was just like, it's either going to be it has to be a meltdown.
Yeah.
And then I saw them playing the preseason and I was like, oh man, you know what? Maybe this team is turning around, And then they kind of got me to my original prediction was 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that was your original, even though you thought they were going to be a good team?
No. Like when I thought the meltdown was.
Oh, okay.
The 6-10. And then after the preseason, I was like, oh, it's going to be maybe 9-7.
Yeah.
10-6.
Yeah. I think we predicted them at 10-6. We did total wins for each NFL team. I think we had the Dolphins at 10-6 or when I think Pallet had them at 9-7. I'm not sure, something like that. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know Tannehill. I'm kind of done with him. To be honest,
they gave him an extension. He's going to be here for what, 3 more years?
I want to say. I don't know. I mean, there's somewhere in this contract where if they could get rid of him within the next 1 or 2 years, I think.
Yeah, but who's gonna?
I know. That's the thing. That's the thing.
I think starting with the next decision on who's gonna be the next coach of the Dolphins, from that point on, they can't make any more mistakes. No more mistakes in drafting. No more mistakes in trades. No more mistakes in picking up players, free agent players. No more mistakes, because the mistakes that have been happening here with the Dolphins have been, drastically.
It holds him back.
Oh yeah, it holds him back.
And I mean, I love having Sue on my team. He's been very disruptive, but I mean, that contract is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's quarterback money. And Sue doesn't touch the ball enough.
It's the biggest contract in the history of the NFL for a defensive lineman.
I mean, think about it. Peyton Manning. Okay, let's say roughly Peyton Manning gets paid what, $20 million a year, and that's pretty much what Sue's making roughly.
Right.
So I mean, does Sue touch the ball as much as Peyton Manning does? No. I mean, but he's a great player. But I mean, that contract's ridiculous.
Yeah, they gotta stop making mistakes. And I think they gave Tannehill. They might have given him too much money too. Was it $45 million they gave him? So they got the
no, it was more than that.
Was it?
Well, the whole contract is what, 90 something.
Oh, was it 90? It was 90. I'm sorry. Who got 40? Somebody got 45. I forgot who it was.
Or was it Sue gets like 60 million the first year?
Something like that.
I don't know. I forgot all the specifics of the contract.
Tannehill got 80. He got how many?
I
think he got 85 million.
Was it 80
or 85 or 9? Something, I don't know.
Something guaranteed.
I don't know. It was a lot of money, but I'm not sure if he's improving.
At the time, I remember.
Do you think he's improving?
No, I don't think so.
I think he's the same quarterback.
If anything, I think he looks a little worse.
Whoa, jeez.
Like, I mean, I like the fact that he's actually like throwing downfield more, which, I
think the majority of times he's been sacked are his fault. They're his fault.
I mean, the last game
You can't blame it on the line all the time.
Yeah. There's some that are his fault, but I mean,
There's times you got to throw the ball. There's times you got to move. But it seemed like those 3 safeties in a row. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah,
3 safeties in a row
on bad snaps.
Yeah,
right?
bad snaps.
Yeah.
But the one,
the one he's got to feel that pressure.
of course,
he's got
yesterday's
know,
one. He should have felt that one and rolled out or threw it away.
Even if you feel it or not, you got to know that you don't have much time to throw this ball. It's got to come out of your hands
Absolutely
fairly
correct.
quickly. You can't be sitting back in the end zone for 4 seconds.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, and oh man, was my other port here? God, I can't remember. Oh, well, yesterday against the Eagles, I mean, when the 3rd and long situations, I was watching the offensive line, and the thing is, he most of the time he could not convert them because by the time the receivers ran about 10 yards, the pass rusher was in his face. He had like no time. That offensive line is awful.
Yeah.
Is Juwan James still playing?
He was out.
He was out.
Yeah, this
And
guy
Brandon Albert is still out?
Brandon Albert's playing.
Oh,
played.
he's
yeah.
oh,
Fox
okay.
took Juwan James's place, and they had Billy Turner who was offside a couple times, and Brandon Albert's playing good. Pouncey's playing good. I think Fox is the weak link of that offensive line, and that's where all the pressure's coming from.
I mean,
that side.
I think Tannehill could be an efficient like game manager, but he can't carry a team.
Nah,
like I used to think he could, but this year, like he can't carry a team. He can't go down the field and win the game.
And the excuse early, I mean, the excuse was the excuse was that give him time, he's going to progress, he's going to get better. This is his 4th year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's showing us a sign that he's going to be a better quarterback, or he's showing us a sign that he's going to be just an average, no good quarterback. So
yeah, I mean, and also like they talk about leadership, like he's supposedly a leader on the team, but like, do you see him taking command of the field like Phillip Rivers does?
No.
Calling audibles, making adjustments like Tom Brady does.
Right.
Like, I mean, granted, those guys are like really good quarterbacks, but I mean, I heard he's not even allowed to call audibles yet.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know why some quarterbacks are scared to call audibles just because the coach tells them not to. Like, if I was a quarterback and I saw something that I liked, I was gonna call an audible anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do? Bench you for audibling in a couple of plays that you saw what you liked?
Yeah, you're the star quarterback. You should do whatever you. They should give him the freedom to do whatever he wants.
I know, and even if they don't give him the freedom, he's on the field. He could take that freedom away if he wants to.
Look at Andy Dalton. Okay, Andy Dalton was a quarterback where he.
We're going over time, by the way.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end the show after this. Andy Dalton.
Okay, yeah, sure.
This is a guy that was criticized tremendously for going in the playoffs and losing the first round. Never won a playoff game, but look at them now. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. They're 8-0. And he's progressing. That's what we want to hear from Tannehill, progress. And it doesn't seem like he's progressing.
Well, granted, and Andy Dalton, he was kind of like Tannehill earlier.
Yeah,
like they have such a good team around him that it's also helped him. Be so good this year.
That's fair. Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Jada Cole's Bar, 2845 Coral Way. These guys have been holding down the John Ech Show for many years. They're in. Right on the border of Coral Gables and Dade County, in Miami, right there on Coral Way, 2845. Their happy hours are from 4 to 8. They have live bands there weekly, and also poker night at 8 o'clock on the Mondays. And on Sundays, they have ladies' night, which is 50% off every beautiful lady that walks into that bar. You get 50% off your bar tab. So that's Jada Cole's Bar, 2845 Coral Way. You can look them up on Facebook, Jada Cole, and also on Instagram. You can also catch the John Ech Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search John Ech Show. All right, Mike, for the first show of your is this the first time you produced a show? This is you've done other shows before.
Oh my God, running the board. This is my first time.
All right, good. You did a good job. You're gonna get better. The show's gonna get better.
Yeah.
We're gonna add music next week, and I want to do like since if we could extend the show for if we stay at 1 hour, or like a bed in the background with some I like hip hop and like hit some hip hop music in the background.
Old school?
Yeah, old school.
That's all I listen to. I haven't listened to music for like 10 years.
When before the show started, I said, didn't I tell you that we're gonna work good?
Yeah.
I like you and we're gonna have fun together. So that's what it is. The John Ech Show right here every Monday from 3 to 4, hopefully from 3 to 5 every Monday right here TuneIn app, and also catch us on YouTube. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Good job, Mike.
Yeah.
And
sorry, Lewis, for
going
running
over
time, but I was feeling it. It's going really well.
The adrenaline.
Yeah,
took
the
over.
adrenaline.
All right, go Dolphins, go Hurricanes, and go Heat. All right, thanks for tuning in and logging on right here on 247miami.tv. Peace.
Peace.
I wonder what happens when you